Gamification, passive income protocol, NFTs, beer theme, Super Nintendo graphics? Okay, if Andy's in, I'm in. The Tavern. It's like a node project, but like many other new node projects, it's not a node project. But that's right there in their white paper, which is good. They are instead a passive income protocol. I'm into the idea of them leaning into what the thing actually is. I do need to mention that the Tavern did reach out to me, and this is a sponsored video. But I remain a neutral party, and they have no part in what I'm going to say here. And after reading everything about it a couple of times, I did end up putting my own money into this. My name is Nicholas Johnson, and this is the Space Warehouse. In their introduction, the Tavern talks a lot about using what has worked with existing node projects and then fixing what hasn't. They also use a lot of commas. DeFi is new, and I'm a big fan of companies iterating on existing innovations. I'm going to compare the Tavern to StrongBlock a bit. I've been with StrongBlock for a few months now, and it's the one of these that I know the most about, sort of. Similar to Strong, where you buy a StrongBlock node using the Strong token, and then you're paid out in Strong. At the Tavern, you buy a brewery using their native token, MEAD. Get it? And each brewery will produce 2 MEAD per day. A StrongBlock node is 10 strong, which right now is about $1,500. And a brewery from the Tavern is 100 MEAD, which right now is about $950. At StrongBlock, they have these limited edition NFTs that you can buy that provide a boost to your daily earnings. The Tavern is using this idea as well. But here's where the gamification starts to come in. For your brewery, yeah, you're just ultimately buying an NFT in exchange for higher earnings, but you also get the chance to level up, which we'll get to in a minute. And that makes your brewery make more MEAD. The Tavern's NFTs come in the form of little upgrades to your SNES graphics-themed breweries. You can get new vats, you can get metal kegs, you can get an assortment of these fermentation tanks. So you get a tiny little bit of backstory as to why your thing makes more money. I bought a reinforced vat, literally just so I could see it in my tiny little cartoon brewery at the bottom of the dashboard, and much to my surprise, it does not appear there once implemented. Sure, this thing earns more money now, but come on, let's get that programmed into the website, guys. I want to see the things that I'm buying. If Fortnite taught any lesson to the world, it's that there is no link that people won't go to customize their digital assets for some reason. I mean, these add-ons make you more money, so that's a great reason to buy them, but they do also just have skins, which just make your brewery look different, and some of them cost a lot. It's like designer clothing in the analog world. It's fine. It's great. It's totally normal to do these things. Presumably, cosmetic customization will make your brewery more attractive when you want to sell it later down the line, which brings me to the next difference of the Tavern from StrongBlock nodes. These breweries exist as NFTs, which you'll be able to buy from and sell to other users if later for some reason you want to get out of the game. The team did say that there is going to be a limited number of breweries for sale overall, which is intended to combat hyperinflation of the currency. So as long as the price of mead stays where it is or gets higher, selling your brewery could be quite valuable later on when they're scarce. As a default, your brewery earns 2 mead every day, always the same amount. Although of course, mead will practically never be the same US dollar value any day, so that's a whole other thing. But unlike Strong Node or Thor Node or any other ones that I've looked at, like I said earlier, you can level up. Your brewery will ferment for 14 days, during which time, if you want to pull your rewards out, you can, but you'll be taxed at 18%. So there's an incentive to keep your mead in the system for a while. The idea is to reduce sell pressure. One of their innovations on this whole concept is that after the 14-day fermentation period, your brewery will start to earn experience points. 14 more days after that, and you'll level up to become a tier 2 brewery, 28 days overall. If instead you choose to take profits after that 14-day fermentation period, then your fermentation period resets, and it'll be another 2 weeks before you can earn experience points. Once you've leveled up to tier 2, now your brewery burps out 3 mead per day. Quite a bonus from the default. And if you hold out another 14 days, so 42 days total, your brewery will max out to become a tier 3, where it will pour out 4 mead per day. As I record this, the price of mead is $9, and it takes 100 mead to mint 1 brewery. So today, it's $900 to get your hands on one of these, and it will give back $18 per day worth of mead. Personally, I hope to see them develop on this gamification even further. I want to see a little bit of keeping up with the Joneses going on. Firstly, I definitely want to see the upgrades that I'm buying showing up on my dashboard, like if I get a keg or if I get a new vat or whatever. But further, I want my brewery to exist in a little neighborhood full of other users' breweries. When I sign on to check my vats of mead, I want to be hit with a screen that shows my brewery on a little street next to, I don't know, maybe the previous 3 and the next 3 breweries that were minted before and after mine, all in a little row. That way, when Kelly and Kyle sign on, they'll see James's fresh new metal kegs in his lawn, and they'll be like, well, shoot, I want new metal kegs in my lawn. I think it would give the skins some value too. I can't tell you how much money I sunk into Clash of Clans however many years ago when that was new. I got literally nothing in return, but for some reason it felt worth it to me to spend actual money on my little cartoon guys just so that when my enemy would watch the replay of the battle, he'd be like, oh, that guy hit me with hot air balloons. Savage. I don't know. Implement a Lawn of the Month club. I'll bet more people would spend more money on more things that they don't do now. Anyway, I should be clear, none of this is on the roadmap or anything. I just think it'd be cool. The team is KYC'd and doxed to some members of the community, but not to the public, which I guess I don't fully understand. Evidently, their code is available on GitHub, so if you know what you're looking at when you read that sort of thing, you can go read it. The Tavern exists on the Avalon blockchain, so you'll have to get that set up on your MetaMask wallet and find your favorite way of buying AVAX. I went through crypto.com just because I love using credit cards. You have to do this fun little do-si-do of sending AVAX out of your crypto.com wallet to an X-Chain Avalon wallet. You can't go straight to the C-Chain, which is what the Tavern website uses. So from the X-Chain wallet, there's a fairly straightforward process to use cross-chain to get your AVAX out of the X-Chain and onto the C-Chain, and then send it off to your MetaMask wallet where you can convert it to USDC on the C-Chain Avalon network, which seems to be the preferred starting place for this protocol. With USDC, you can do everything. Then from there, everything else is more fleshed out. Right there on the website, you can click Buy MEAD, and it'll take you to an interface where you can swap your USDC for MEAD. Lastly, for this video, the Tavern offers an easy way to put your earned MEAD to work through staking if you don't plan to cash out right away, which is also right there on their website. This is what provides liquidity to the whole USDC MEAD swapping universe. Liquidity is a subject that deserves a whole video of its own, and actually what a good idea. But basically, you can make your tokens available to smooth out the process of other folks converting USDC into MEAD so they can buy their breweries. If there wasn't liquidity available, you could only buy MEAD for USDC in the same amounts and at the same time as someone else wanted to sell MEAD for USDC. Instead, a liquidity pool stirs together a working load of USDC and MEAD to be used back and forth for these transactions. And every one of these transactions has a tiny little fee attached to it, and that fee goes to you at the percentage of liquidity you've provided to the pool. So basically, you dump a bunch of money in there and then your money makes more money. Apparently right now at 791% APR. Jesus. That's the Tavern. I'm going back to New York.